All right, guys, welcome into fitness culture. It's a new year. 2025 is upon us. The gym this morning was super hectic, but we're here now in the afternoon. Wanted to go over basically who our new program's for. So we have our 8-week challenge going on. We're gonna be dropping videos this whole week. It's a week in the Everyday Athlete program. Now, this is our newest program. We have tons of different programs, but this one is unique for some reasons that we're gonna go over here. And this is the one that I'll be currently doing for the next 8 weeks and probably even extending. This program will live on our app and we'll build it out for years, just like we do our other programs. But who this program is created for are people that are intense in the gym, but don't want to be there for a ton of time. For people who are looking to get back into, yes, they want to be bigger, faster, stronger, but also they want to perform. So you might be looking to do a sport. I myself am going to be doing a high rocks program, and this is going to be the basis of my lifting component training for that. I'm going to be adding in some running down the road for that. But why we built this? We built this for someone who wants to perform in and outside of the gym. Now, unless you're a bodybuilder or a powerlifter, chances are you're probably looking to do some kind of sport. Might be skiing, snowboarding, pickleball, golf for me. And if you're always just doing powerlifting and bodybuilding, that a lot of the times isn't covering you. And to be honest, it might even lead to more of a risk of injury if we're always just focusing on hypertrophy or strength and not really focusing on some of these other things, mobility, making sure we're doing our pre and post workout routines of mobility, stretching. This program is built to really encompass a 360 approach to all things wellness inside and outside the gym. And then when we really look at the core components of this, that big part like I was talking about, that pre and post lift, it's really easy to come into the gym, do bodybuilding stuff or even powerlifting stuff for an hour. What's harder to come in and work on your stretching, your mobility, hit some foam rolling, and then work on some get offs, some plyometrics, some bounding, all of these things that are actually gonna keep you athletic. Easy to skip. It's gonna pay off though when you do these things every single day like we have. Lifting, obviously pretty self-explanatory. We incorporate power movements, some strongman movements, obviously some just overall strength, so progressive overload. Problem is, for someone like me, progressive overload, I've been training for the last 20 some years. You know, if we all progressed as fast as we did when we started lifting, we'd all be, benching 1,000 pounds. So we focus on the power and the strength and the hypertrophy, but then we're also gonna focus on things like muscular endurance and even cardiovascular endurance. We're gonna utilize HIIT, high intensity interval training, some lifts, some low intensity steady state, but then we also have metabolic conditioning. That's things like a Metcon, IWT, interval weight training, things that are really gonna ramp up our metabolism, gonna keep us athletic because we're doing things like some Olympic lifting, we're doing some plyometrics into a run, into a single arm dumbbell snatch. At the end of these workouts, you're gonna feel like you just got done with a practice, maybe a high school practice or a sports practice where at the end, you've conditioned properly. Right now, we're gonna go over exactly what the split looks like. All right, so going over the split, you're gonna see it's kind of set up as a full body split. We've never done that with one of our programs, but it's a split that I really enjoy because it's gonna allow you to recover and to really focus on pre-post lifts while making sure that, hey, we're getting enough volume in, we're focusing on some strength training, but then we're also incorporating our Thursdays, our Tuesdays that are gonna really focus on speed, athletic movements. Monday, full body with dynamic lower and strength upper. So each one of our quote unquote lifting days are really our core lifting days are gonna have kind of a different emphasis for both upper body and lower body. So dynamic lower, strength upper, and then a HIIT day. We then have linear, speed, and plyo. So this is gonna be all that explosion. I was talking about, hey, if you're gonna be an athlete, we need to train explosiveness, and that's where that's gonna come in. We also will be doing some accessory work on these Tuesday, Thursdays, and even some Saturday, which will be optional. That'll be core and arms, and then we're finishing off with a body weight Metcon there. Before jumping into Wednesdays, full body, dynamic upper, strength lower, and then some lifts. Thursday, working some lateral, some change of directions. We're gonna get into some drills here that maybe you haven't done in a long time or ever before working on some core movements and even some carries, some strongman type stuff before doing our IWT, our interval weight training. Friday, back to our lifting days. Full body lift, volume upper, volume lower. So no cardio that day because we're getting in tons of work with that volume. Saturday is gonna be optional. We might throw in like a hike, a swim, something that day is gonna be some optional cardiovascular training plus mobility. And then if you wanna hit the gun show, we also allow that on Saturdays. But this is basically the kind of the meat and the potatoes. There will be things that change when we start talking about what does a dynamic lower body day or a strength progression look like. But this is kind of the gist of it. So we're gonna jump into that right now. So let's jump into it. First things first, we got our hang snatch, and we're gonna be working up real light. Especially if you've never done this movement, gonna be one that you're gonna be unfamiliar with. You're gonna wanna go nice and slow. So a hang power snatch. Power snatch being that we're going from the knee snatch position. We're gonna be outside our normal grip. You know, a snatch grip, I always like to just, if my arms feel comfortably wide, like I'm not stretching them and they're not close, they're comfortably wide out there. And then a hang snatch will just be this position. We go hang snatch because this is really the basis of all athletic movements. Very rarely in athletics, you know, unless you're a lineman, is your hand on the ground. So we're gonna start in this athletic position. A snatch is gonna be up overhead. We have 5 of these, and we're gonna try to be nice and quick. 2, 3, 4. Again, we're priming that central nervous system. If you find that those are just way too awkward and you can't do them, you can always come over here and go dumbbell snatch. A little bit easier. You're gonna bend down, crack those knees. Especially if you don't have great shoulder mobility, or you can do a single arm, which we will program in, but that is just the biggest thing is we wanna keep that arm straight. We wanna have triple extension. So when we have triple extension, hips, knees, ankles, everything's extended before popping underneath of it. All right, supersetting with our hang power snatch. We got our back foot elevated. So back foot elevated BFE lunge and reach. I'm gonna be using a dowel or a PVC pipe. You can also just go arms to the sky if you want. Really sinking into this couch stretch down there, holding, coming back up. We got 5 reps each leg here. 3. Again, this is the stuff, this really the pre-lift stuff. This is what we're doing right here, making sure we get into it. Now, when I get into this lunge position, I don't want to lean too far forward, but I'm not leaning, I'm keeping my core engaged as I come down and loading this front foot. And then as I push up, coming to the top, feel that stretch on this side, get a good stretch overhead. Again, I'm not here and I'm not standing straight up. 90 seconds rest, and then we're back into our snatch. All right, second set on here. Again, 5 reps. One to stay explosive. So keep a weight that's nice and light. Like if you've ever maxed out in this, something that's way less than even 50%. We got that little hip hinge, athletic position, explode up. 1. All right, up next, we got a giant set consisting of 4 movements. First 2 are gonna be lunge based. So we're gonna have a speed reverse lunge, 4 sets of 3. So 3 reps on each leg. And then we have alternating lunge jumps for speed. So it's gonna look like this. The speed part is gonna come from the concentric. So the eccentric's just normal here and then come up. So I want this to be fast enough to where there's no catching. I want it to be heavy enough so you still feel it, so it's not body weight, but light enough to where you're not catching. You're not having to stop and collect yourself. And then again, that's nice and light. We'll get heavier on there, but then we're gonna be in this lunge position. And again, we're just exploding up. So you're starting off, lunge position, explode up. Oh, that's a cycle jump, just testing you there. Gonna explode up, land, explode up, land. And then we're over here, sliding hamstring curls. So how we're gonna set this up, really a reverse plank position, butt off the ground, nice and flexed. Hamstrings are engaged here. Hips are gonna go up as we curl the hamstrings back in, control them the way down. 2, 3. You can go back slow. 4. Last thing is gonna be mobility. We're coming over here to the wall. So we're gonna start off, depending on how good your mobility is, and we're going to essentially reach out in front while keeping core tight, offhand down by your side. We're gonna come over and back down the wall, and then again, come back up the top, rotate, come back out. I want you to extend that arm as far as possible. So we're making the widest circle we can. If you don't have a wall, you can always do it. We can set up on a rack, making sure we just miss that rack. Oh. Don't forget your mobility work. Seems easy, but it's very important. All right, we're now shifting away from our lower body dynamic training. We have our strength training for our upper body. So we're gonna be going close grip bench press, superset with chin-ups. Both of these exercises this week, we're gonna be focusing on tempo. So eccentric on both, 4 seconds on the way down, explode up. And again, so the only thing that's timed is that eccentric. We're just normal speed on everything else. Again, 4 sets of 6 on each. Gonna have to get weighted on the chin-ups. With my close grip bench press, I always like to go, as soon as my thumbs feel that smooth part, I know I am about shoulder width apart. You know, we go a little bit closer, that's gonna start involving a lot of triceps. So normal for me is gonna be out here. Close grip starts about right there for me. Setting up properly, shoulder blades down and back. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Starting at 50% of our close grip 1 rep max, and then we're gonna be working up, getting all the way up to 65. So we'll go 50, 55, 60, 65. Same for the chin-ups. This first one, we're just gonna go body weight to show you guys. Chin-up, same thing. 4 seconds eccentric. We got 6 reps, getting heavier each time. This one's just gonna be body weight to get that feel. So we're up to the top. 1, 2, 3. 3. After chin up, 2 minutes rest, back on our bench press. We'll be increasing weight on both of these for this second set, strength portion of our upper body workout. 3, 4. That was very controlled. I feel like that was a little bit more too controlled on the concentric part. We're only worried about the eccentric. 4. Good last set. And then I'm gonna go up 10 pounds on my pull-ups. Oh, it's good. Good to fail. Lets me know I'm kind of a big baby on my back exercises. Gonna have to really improve on my back 2025. It's one of my physique goals. If you guys haven't already, for checking this out, you guys can actually download our free goal setting calendar. So I'll go over it more on my channel, but essentially everyone who signs up for the challenge and you guys who watch this will be able to get it to download it. But it's basically filling out what your perfect week looks like, how to set goals properly. So it's not about what other people want from you. It's about getting specific with what goals you want to achieve, not just physically, but also in terms of life. What kind of life do you want? For me, my physique goals real quick, maintain 215 at under 10% body fat, build a wider back, performance, do a high rocks in 8 months. Trying to talk Morgan into letting me do it. Bench 1.5 my body weight, which should be fairly easy. Squat double my body weight, which I don't squat a ton. Run a mile under 7 minutes. 60 push-ups in a minute, which I think that should be really easy. We're gonna be releasing more things that you guys should look out for. Benchmarks, essentially, to see where you're at compared to the general population. And then also for me, a performance goal. be pain-free with exercise and a golf swing. And that's gonna come through mobility, making sure I take care of my body. Lifestyle, read 10 books this year, and then get to a sub-5 handicap in golf, which if I'm putting all the time in on the high rocks training, the running, being a dad, that golf goal is gonna be pretty tough. But then I've filled out what steps I need to take to achieve the goal. So a little bit more detailed. We don't wanna be vague on our goals. We wanna be super detailed. And then my perfect week, just setting up. If I could build out a perfect week, what that looks like. And it's really part of power of visualization, but then also non-negotiables, setting that up. So you guys can download basically your perfect week and our goal setting planner, essentially, goal setting and planning. We're giving you guys free when you guys check out this video, so you're welcome. Got a tri-set, 12, 10, 8. We got neutral grip, dumbbell press overhead, and then we have a row, single grip dumbbell row, and then an off the knee rotator cuff movement. We're gonna be supersetting these, like I said, our giant set, starting off with 12 reps. 2, 3, 4, 5. 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then off the knee rotator cuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. Okay, set of 10 here. 1, 2, 3. All right, weights, done and dusted. Time condition. We got 10 sled sprints. We got 245s on the sled. Gonna be really focusing on setting up a good posture, keeping the core nice and tight, and then just driving those legs in there. I am going to, instead of pushing it down, resting, and then pushing it back, we got 10 of these. So instead of pushing it down, resting, pushing it back, I'm gonna take this, put it around my hips, and walk with it back. So I get some posterior chain in there as well. Really, it's just my rest time. We're gonna get it going right here. I prefer the sprints. All right, guys, that is it for today. Make sure you check out all the videos this week. Can't even talk. We'll be uploading daily this week. If you want to get your goal setting PDF, check out the link in the description. See you guys tomorrow. Day 1, done and dusted. I gotta sit down tonight, finish filling up my goal setting, and then start checking off my accountability calendar. We'll talk more about that in 2 days. We'll see you guys.